permit yet from the state, and we understand that they are about a year or more from even submitting an application. So our project is engaged in the PSC's process. The ATC project is about a year away from even applying. The similarity is where the Badger Coulee or the ATC project would connect into the same endpoint that our project connects into in the Holmen area.
And this one is...
I'd like to comment that if CapEx 2020 does not receive approval from the PSC, there will be no ATC line. The CapEx isn't going to build to Holmen and dump that electricity in Holmen.
This is a question directed specifically at Excel. What does MISO have to do with this project? It's a three-part. What does MISO have to do with this project? Are they the driving force behind this? If MISO is 12 states, what makes up the rest of the country, west, southeast? Who are these people and who is the individual behind this? What are their benefits?
MISO, it's MISO, MISO, that's different, however people want to pronounce it, I guess. It is a regional organization. It's called the Midwest Independent Transmission System Operator. It is the agency that oversees the transmission and generation grid in the Midwest, so 12 states and Manitoba. And basically they set policy as far as if you want to build a transmission line, you look at also the regional aspect of that, such as these CapEx projects. We consulted with the MISO process to make sure that there's coordination in the process so that the transmission companies are not building transmission that's not needed. At the end of the day, it's a transmission line has to be approved by each state, so it's the state process that supersedes everything in the upper Midwest. But these projects have all gone through, this project as well as the other CapEx projects have gone through the MISO process.
Let me just say about the MISO process. It is the organization that determines what goes on in the upper Midwest with electricity, and all the utilities are a part of that process. And the concerns that we have is that again, they want electricity to flow freely from one end of that region to the other, from the Dakotas to Indiana. What's the responsibility of the Wisconsin Public Service Commission, the people of Wisconsin, who don't need this power? Okay? That's the question we have. What is Darrell and what is Excel going to do, and what is the Public Service Commission going to do when MISO says they need this power to maintain this entire grid of the upper Midwest? But in Wisconsin, the Public Service Commission says, we don't need it. So then, do we pay it? Yes. We're going to pay with our rates for this power line. We're going to pay with our property values. We're going to pay with our taxes. If the rural utility service pays or loans money to Darrell Power, we're going to pay in many, many ways. And we just think the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin should think about Wisconsin and not the entire upper Midwest.
This next question is addressed to DOT regarding routing. I view it as a process question. I'll read the start of it. At what point did the DOT demand of Excel and the PSC that State Highway 88 become an alternate route? We understand the scenic easement of the Great River Road in the upper 10 plus miles is scenic with a low rating. And I guess it's fairly technical here, so I'll mainly address the question to DOT, who sits next to me. Why the alternate route through Highway 88?
First of all, as Tom pointed out, we had a slide up there that there's a hierarchy of how you site electric transmission lines, and highway corridors is listed as number 2. So as the DOT, we looked at that, and on their original mapping, Highway 88 wasn't even listed. There was no even route number on there. So we wondered why 88 wasn't considered as one of the routes. Highway 95 was shown as well as some of the other routes. So we felt that 88 should be looked at, especially since the It would be an alternative to the Great River Road portion from Holmen down to Checksville. We understand the scenic easements of the Great River Road in the upper 10 miles received low rating. The low rating, the person who's asking the question talking about was done by a consultant study